r/, your horror movie podcast.
Get the cold out your eyes. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's go. We're doing Halloween Party from 2019. I had never seen this before. I didn't watch. I kind of watched the trailer. It looked a little intriguing, and I thought it fit well with our 13 movies that I hadn't seen, but fit a Halloween theme because I fucked up last year and I picked a movie that was supposed to be a Halloween theme, but it wasn't. All it had was underage fucking cornfields that weren't ripe enough for the picking yet. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Underage cornfields.
Yeah. So my expectation rating in this, because it was low budget, was going to be pretty low. I was expecting about a 4. But had either one of you guys ever seen this before?
No, I jumped right into. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Waterboy.
So I have not seen this, but based off what you guys said yesterday, where this was sort of like entwined with the movie that we saw for yesterday.
All it was movies to watch after. That's all it was on.
That's not that's
but like we'll get into it, dude. But this movie doesn't hold a fucking candle to Trick.
No, definitely not, for sure. Going into this, based off what was said yesterday, I was thinking it was going to be a 3, but it budged. Not telling you which way.
All right, Justin, you want to tell me why this movie isn't even good enough to sniff Trick's farts?
So I watched this. I jumped right in blind. Took me a couple minutes to find it. I didn't even watch the trailer. Had no clue what I was watching. Just by the opening scene, just how it looked, I was going to say I'd give it like a 3.7 was my expectation rating on this one.
I do have to say, so this is on Amazon for free. And when I clicked on it, it said watch again. When I looked it up, it said watch again. So one of my kids have watched this movie. I don't know which
really?
one. Yeah.
How the hell did they even find this one?
I have no freaking idea, dude. I was
all right, who's gonna start us off and dive right into this Halloween?
Let's go. Halloween Party, dude. We get Grace. She's scrolling through Zoe's pictures from her time in Thailand, and it looks like she was having a pretty good time. She's jelly as fuck, and she says she should have stayed there with some dude named Aaron. And just as she starts looking at him, dude, a couple of frat bros barge in, and we get introduced to HIV negative Bubbles. That is quite the introduction.
Indeed.
He became famous because his parents posted a video of him on YouTube in the tub when he was 2. You can't do that nowadays. You'll go to jail.
Yeah.
The other dude, the other douche canoe in this room is his name is Court. And I'd imagine that's because he's going to roofie someone and they're going to take him to court.
100%.
Zoe drops some weights in the closet, and just as these things hit the ground, her computer pops up with the Halloween meme that asks you your worst fear. You have to tell it before the timer runs out, and you're saved. If you don't, a witch meme pops up, and it tells you your worst fear is becoming true, and it's going to come for you. Zoe divulges that hers is pigs. Grace, we see her type hers in, and much like Justin, it's vagina spiders.
That's why I actually have that in my notes.
At that when I
actually have that in my notes that if Justin was a woman, his worst fear would be vagina spiders.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm so freaked out by that. Let's not even copy. Let's just move on. Pretend that we never say those 2 words together again.
All right, cool.
All right, so
penal spiders.
So these girls swap stories about their fears. Grace is because her sister spooked her on the beach when they were kids. She had a tummy ache, and her sister said something crawled up there and they'd laid eggs. And that forever scarred not only Justin, but it also scarred Grace. Zoe says it's because Hannah Man, the farmer up the street, who basically just used to get shit-faced and not feed his animals, had a pig farm. And I don't know if you guys know this, but pigs will eat anything.
Oh, yeah.
And one night, Hannah Man got shit-faced, didn't feed his pigs for a while, and these pigs actually wound up eating him. Boots, teeth, and all. And then out of nowhere, dude, these pigs were just gone. Never to be seen again. And she says, until one night, I seen in my backyard by the shed, there was like a figure. And Gracie's like, was it the pigs? Like, what's going on? And she's like, all I could see was this figure. And all I kept saying was, she's like, what? Yeah, all I kept saying was, and Gracie leans in. And just as she leans in, dude, Zoe pulls the ultimate prankster. And she's just like, it says, and starts snorting at her. And she's like, oh, fuck you. The girls head out now, and they want nothing to do with all these frat bros hanging out in the hallway. Gracie's actually taking Zoe to her retail job, and Justin, you've worked retail, so I think you felt a little bit of pain in this. She's going to the mall after hours where everything is closed. There's no one there. It's just her and her friend Vicky. They're staying there all night to do inventory, counting each piece of clothing in this store. Vicky takes off for a quick squirt before they start counting, though. Zoe starts to get a couple of fun texts from Grace about like hanging out after, hitting up a club, oinking around. And then she gets one from Vicky. And it almost looks like she's butt texting her. And then we see the last two texts are HNNGREE, both back to back. Did you guys pick up what they were trying to spell?
Hungry?
Hungry. Because the pigs were hungry in this story. And this all fucking starts to intertwine. This is followed up with a picture of someone's feet laying down face first in the hallway. And then another of a reflection of someone wearing a pig mask. Zoe looks like she's in panic and she runs up to the back door and she looks in the peephole before opening the service like back door. And she gets spooked by something that's going on there. So she does the smart thing, which she should have done in the first instance, is fucking go up front and check the security cameras. As she's looking through the security cameras, she sees someone drag Vicky's body away. And it's creepy as shit. And it's very well done. And then immediately the camera cuts to another section of the hallway and you get this dude in a pig mask and he fucking headbutts the camera and it does like a freeze frame and it cuts out. Zoe's in full blown panic mode and she runs to these front doors to escape, but they're fucking locked. And Peppa Pig ain't in a playful mood. And this little piggy takes the girl to the afterlife. Just absolutely wreaks havoc. I will say right here, though, I love how this pigman killer is a legit pig wearing a pig mask, and he's even got hoofs and everything.
That was pretty awesome.
So incredible. What a friggin' start to this movie. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah. Gracie now wakes up to a phone call, and it's some bad news, and she immediately heads over to Zoe's work to check it out. She realizes Zoe's dead, and then we get a cutscene to her sitting out to breakfast with what I think is a couple of friends. We never get their names. We never get anything out of these people. They're just sitting there. And one of them actually has a crime scene photo, and it's a blood-covered pig mask on the ground. And this sends Grace into like shock. It's 3 weeks later now, and Grace still isn't even trying to get up for classes anymore. She's not even about that life. She's still torn up about losing Zoe in the pig mask picture. She decides, all right, it's time to head out. I'm on a mission for some fucking answers, and they're going to give it to me. She's dominating. She's power strutting. She's walking across the courtyard. She makes her way into computer sciences, and she's greeted by all the geeks and the nerds who are in absolute awe and amazement. And I quote, "It's a girl. Oh, a live one? Why aren't you pixelated? Please accept my beautiful virginity. Can I smell your hair? Can I put your hair in my mouth?" These are all jokes because these guys are so fucking quick and good at their job that they actually read every one of her texts on the way over about how all these kids are such geeks that they're probably going to be in shock and awe that a girl walks through those doors. They play it up very well. Grace and Spencer, like the lead geek in the group, if you will, he's the leader of the geek squad. They sit down and they try to narrow everything down with all the clues they have. Spencer starts literally rage searching through the internet and finds almost nothing except for the fact that this was a virus and it can alter Google, which is basically fucking impossible. He's like, every one of us in this room put together couldn't even write a code to alter Google. But the pair now head back to Zoe's dorm room to use her computer so Spencer can do his geeky magic and try to nerd his way through and figure out what this is, where it came from, and how to just get rid of it. Then they have like some playful talk about how Spencer's gives off like a very 80s vibe nerd. And he says, yeah, totally. That's what I'm going for because I love movies like The Breakfast Club. I love all of those. And she's like, oh, really? Why? And he's like, because they're will they fuck movies. And she's like, what? Excuse me? He's like, yeah. Will they fuck movies? The main character and the nerd, the whole time you're watching these movies, all you can think about is, will they fuck? And he's like, oh, well, we're not going to fuck. Like, it's just not going to happen. If we were actually in a movie and you were the main character and I was the nerd, we're definitely not going to fuck. So it's just completely out of the question. And just before things can get any more awkward, Bubbles, the bathroom tub baby, fucking burst in and just starts interjecting himself into their conversation. And while she's looking in the closet because she thinks the cops have just destroyed everything, she drops a weight right where Zoe dropped a weight to trigger everything that went on in the computer with the Halloween meme. But this time, it's asking Bubbles the question. And he can't answer this question to save his life. He says it's the exorcist, but it's not taking the answer. Justin, wake the fuck up.
What?
Did you just fall asleep on me?
No, man. I'm ready. I'm dialed in.
Dialed in.
Yeah, this is just such an exciting start. I'm just freaking thrilled.
Dude, this movie's going nuts right now, dude.
So Bubbles can't answer the question. And they see the witch video at the end that says, your worst fear is coming for you. Deed laughs at it. He says, this is a fucking joke. Thanks for the pixelated scare from the 1980s Atari, whatever. He leaves. He walks out. And Gracie now gets cornered by Court as her and Spencer are walking outside. And Court gives off some very, goosebumps, but they call them creep bumps or something. And she asked Spencer to walk her to the minivan so Court will stay away. So he does. And on the walk to the van, they make fun of the bros in the upcoming Halloween party about how Spencer's actually going to go to this and he's going to go home and watch a full season of Entourage and practice his high fives while he douses himself in Axe body spray. I laughed at this. I don't know if you guys laughed at that.
Yeah,
I thought
incredible.
That was a little comical.
Oh my gosh.
Loved it.
Spencer reveals that he actually does know Bubbles' worst fear, and he doesn't know why he didn't just type it in. It's the tall man. And Spencer begins to tell her how the tall man used to watch them at the playground, and it creeped them all out until one day, the tall man just started walking towards Bubbles, and he picked Bubbles up, screaming and all, and started to walk away with him. And he was almost kidnapped and ended up on the back of milk cartons if it wasn't for Bubbles' dad, who saw the whole thing and ended it. Bubbles is in class now. And he starts seeing someone in the distance, but he can't tell who it is. So he takes out his phone and he takes a picture, and he does what we've all done is you zoom all the way in on the picture, you take the picture, and then you zoom in all the way on that picture to try and see something, but it comes out blurry as fuck. But he actually does see that it's Waterboy, and Waterboy's waving in the background because it's his turn. It's his turn to burst Bubbles' bubble.
So Bubbles starts to see somebody outside and instantly freaks out as he's walking towards the room, almost exactly like an It Follows type of vibe there. Opening the door, just party, no worries. Now outside, a food truck, he is given his change, and it's definitely not the right amount. And we get a shot of what I assume faces would look like with a bad trip on acid. So Bubbles he's out of here. Now figuring out that the virus forwards itself, and also with changing the color scheme within the screen, we can see that it's actually a demonic rune in the background of this thing. And we get a little thing about how demons are just people who have dealt with some of the most horrible things, and it's just changed them. Also going frame by frame, we get an image of faces looking through almost like a frosted glass type of thing. Cops are upstairs now, and everybody's learning that Bubbles is dead. Time to investigate Zoe's room, as both times it had appeared it had been in there. Turns out to be the floor in the closet that triggers the screen. We also figure out what Justin's fear would be if he was a woman. See, going back to the vagina spiders here. Off to the library to figure out the floor plan of what had been
someone in the background at your house, Waterboy, is suffering from vagina spiders right now.
I was saying, who is all right? Thought that was in my head. I'm like, who's screaming in the background?
It's you, Justin, from vagina spiders.
So
off to the library to figure out the floor plan and what had been bricked up within the closet. And it turns out it used to be a hospital that had housed terminal kids, balloon babies, and the jelly children. Crazy.
I was gonna say, what the hell just happened in this movie? Like, where is this taking us?
We learn of a chemical leak that had happened in the 80s that disfigured a number of children, where they were kept in the house for basically their entire lives and were called the Halloween party as they wore masks, but not just Halloween, year round. Watching the video where we see that the phallocarbide, or the chemical that it had poisoned the town, and it wreaked havoc on all the human fetuses. Also learned that Spencer's worst fear is bears. I mean, yeah, for sure, bears are scary. That's up there in the tiers for sure. Some creepy some creepy images of these kids locked up, basically being like not really tortured, but just it's horrible. We head over to one of the doctors, Dr. Michaela, who had worked with the kids during that time. Talking about the kids, they grew very violent at the end of their days in this place as nobody came to visit them. They were heavily made fun of. Everything possible that could happen bad happened to these kids, and eventually they just turned evil. Going to see Arthur, who is on life support, and they show the picture of the faces, and he instantly starts freaking out and starts barely screaming a word, flee or free, not sure which. Grace is given an Indonesian Garuda for protection. In the end, the children wanted to hurt them when it got down to the end of their days. Time to head back and Hillary Clinton those emails and seal back up the closet with some brick and mortar. Spencer goes in to get his laptop with all the guys looking over and sees that they fucked with it and got it forwarded to Garrett, where he is ready to die and he's going to die from booze. Logging into his email, the image pops up to reveal Justin.
Let's go. It's me. Surprise, motherfucker. All right, anyway. So we see Garrett.
It's the alcoholic.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. I don't even drink. All right, we see Garrett, and he writes alcoholic mother, and he is saved. And they're not happy, though. He looks like embarrassed in front of all his friends. And now all of a sudden, they're kind of pissed at Spencer. And then it's Spencer's time. All of a sudden, it pops up. And as Spencer goes to type, they all hold him down. And you can tell he's taking it serious. This friggin' thing is counting down. He is screaming, Halloween party, type Halloween party. And they're like, no, fuck you, man. Like, all of a sudden, boom, we see the witch. And Spence is pissed. He's taking it so serious. He's like, I'm going to die now. Thanks. He's like, we're all going to die. Like, you guys are idiots. Like, we're all going to die now. Super pissed.
We're all dead.
We're all dead. He is so pissed. Like, he's calling Grace
down here.
He is freaking out. Grace isn't even answering. Like, he runs away. And then we see the frat house, and we see it is trick-or-treating time, and we see like a Lego voodoo doll all of a sudden, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, out of nowhere, I was completely lost. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, movie's getting very bizarre. We see a Lego voodoo doll, and then we see the guy has to go upstairs and, take a shit with the door open, kind of weird. But he also finds a voodoo doll. Like, what the hell is going on? And like the other guy, like Mike, finds like it's like a dirty Lego like castle, and
yeah, it's so weird. It looks like someone's trying to build a pizza oven, and it's covered in like old Oreos.
And you can tell it's wicked old looking. You can tell it's like some kids made it like a long time ago. And back upstairs, like we hear stuff in the walls. Like, what has even happened? There is stuff like going through the walls. Almost sounds like it's going through the pipes. And as this guy is going to the bathroom, the sounds are getting louder and louder and louder till he literally looks down.
Dude, that's not the log you wanted to see, dude.
Of this girl, like coming up through.
I laughed at this.
Dude, I did too. I laughed out loud. I was like, what? I did not expect that. Like, he literally heard her going through all the pipes, and the friggin' head of this creepy girl, this creepy face pops through.
She's giving him head on. That's called a blumpkin.
That is.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
I've also seen this scene in another movie that did it way better in Dreamcatcher.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Oh my god, yeah, that thing in that as well. Like, he runs for his life. And then we see Mike sees like pots and pans are out, like they're like all over the floor. Like, what is even happening? He grabs like the Lego thing to go throws it away, and it moves. And he goes and grabs it to throw it back in the trash. And like a deformed hand comes out of the damn trash and grabs him from the trash. So now we got girls in the toilet, friggin' hands coming from the trash. Like, what is even happening? And now we flash forward to Spencer. Now he's in a different place, and he is spooked. He is freaking out, and all these people are trick or treating, and he's there with a bunch of people, and he's looking, and he sees this kid in a mask just staring, and he freaks out. He thinks it's one of the kids at the Halloween party. He's like screaming, and the woman's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "It's him. I know who you are," and he's like screaming,
"I will fucking brain you."
Yeah, I will kill. Screaming at all the stuff at this kid. He's like, "Who are you? I know who you are." And all of a sudden, the kid just like taking the mask off. He's like,
"Hi, I'm Greg."
Yeah, he's like, "It's me, it's Greg." And he's like, Dude, I could not stop laughing. It's like, well, turn it down a notch, Greg. Turn it down a notch.
Fucking stomps away. I loved it so much.
Dude, he's so pissed. He's screaming. I'm like, tell him to turn it a notch. Unfriggin' believable. Meanwhile, we see Grace. She awakes. She still hasn't responded to any of like the texts or anything, and you see she kind of like awakes all spooked and everything. But it's bath time, so she goes down there and she takes a nice little bath. And of course, we have like the whole scenes like she senses something. It's just a cat, no big deal. And we see her phone is being charged, and all of a sudden, all the messages pop up, and she sees it. She goes, "Oh my god!" You're like, "All right, so we're gonna meet in the van in 5 minutes. You're just gonna grab all the stuff," and all of a sudden.
You just gotta clean the back seat. You know what I'm saying? The casting van. It's Bang Bros.
Like that's
Sorry.
not where this movie's going at all. She hears
the toilet scene, dude.
Please chill out. So she hears stuff. And she starts seeing stuff. And the inside out face dude is in her freaking shower, and it like presses against the shower curtains. So freaking terrifying. Meanwhile, we see Spence's house is complete where he is now. His place is completely trashed. There's candy everywhere. He is walking down to say he's getting ready to get out of there. And we hear like more sounds, creepy sounds and stuff. And we see like a deformed face eating something, like eating like a person, like he was eating someone.
Eating somebody's face, dude.
He was sucking on that nose.
Yeah,
holy
it was
shit.
literally like on her nose.
It was getting the boogers out.
This is like this movie's escalating fast. I'm friggin' here for it. I'm loving this. They run to the van now. He meets up with Grace, and they get in the van to be behind them. It's one of the damn things. It's right out there. It runs, and this thing's parkours on top of the van. They're like, hell no. They jump out. They run for their life. We see them run into a place called Prince Hall, and they are just running. All of a sudden, it's getting dark. They're in like hallways. We see it's the tunnel system that was talked about earlier that goes like underneath the school. They go down there. The lights are out.
No,
their
thank
phone.
you.
Yeah, her phone's dying. They're trying to find like a place to charge it. He uses a lighter, and they're walking under there, and they're walking for a long time. And they're like, "Oh my god, like we're in like the hospital part where like the hospital used to be." And they see like a hospital bed, and it's the deformed dude with like 1,000 different limbs. And I don't know why, but they wanted to like get a closer look, and like looking right up him, and he kind of like wakes and is screams in their face. Actually, kind of looked really cool and terrifying. So that
it actually looked like she was trying to say like, hey, does he need help? Like,
Yeah,
can
I don't know what-
help him?
Yeah, I don't know what
I would have just fucking ran away.
I would have just run for your life at that point. Like, no need to
Yeah.
get close. So as
100% would have been in that car to Cleveland.
exactly, get the hell out of here.
100%.
So they're back in the creepy hallways, and we see like all of a sudden she's like, wait a minute, like birds, like prisoners, like they want their freedom. Like they brick them up to free them. Like we need to free them. Like they brick them up. Like they need to get out of that room. Like, and at this point, she has her phone charged a little bit, so she's gonna use the night vision, and they put like their phone like on a stick, and they're walking through. They like rig it up to like hold it out so they can see in front of them. I don't know. I kind of thought these scenes are kind of suspenseful. I was kind of freaked
I
out.
literally, Justin, in my
I was
notes,
scared, man.
I've got Justin is 100% here for this because now it's turning into found footage and green thermal like lenses and shit.
No wonder why I loved it so much. I'm like,
I don't like
this is
darkness,
so,
dude. I don't like
dude,
it.
this is so suspenseful. Like this is actually so creepy. I'm freaking loving this so much.
Darkness and floors of like hospitals. No,
Oh.
dude.
No, this is terrifying. And like, of course, they start hearing something really weird, and they ended up looking, and it was just a fan, a little fake out, and nothing there. And then all of a sudden, they see a creepy woman's face, and it grabs freaking Spencer's. His glasses are down. It's Spencer's grab. Man, don't take Spencer. I freaking love this kid. He's so fun. Like he's gone, man. But now Grace, she just booked it. She runs for her life. She runs all the way back to her friend's dorm room, and she runs through the closet. And she grabs those weights and she starts smashing them through the floor. And we see like light escapes. Like, let's fucking go. It is happening. And it is all going good. And then we do hear like a bunch of weird, creepy shit like coming to her door. I don't know what's going on. But Grace now, she runs to return the good luck charm. I forget what that thing was called, but she goes back to the doctor's house, and she's telling the woman like, "Oh, here you go. I don't think I'll be needing this anymore because it's all good."
We set them free.
Yeah, she's like, "We're gonna be all good. Like we released them and set them free." And the woman's like, "Wait, excuse me. What did you do?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, we set them free." And she's like, "Are you mad? We bricked them in. We did that on purpose to be safe for them. Like, what have you done?" And then you see it's like all hitting Grace now, like all these shit, like just complete screw up, like. And then we just flash forward and we see Grace, like, dude, like Spencer's gone, man. Yeah, sorry, I got a little sad, caught up in the moment. Anyway,
He didn't
so
even
we
get
see
laid, dude.
no man, Spencer is gone. It's actually like he literally got killed. We see Grace on a plane now to like Thailand,
She's going to
and
Tokyo. Yeah, no,
yeah,
she's going to Thailand. She's going
Thailand.
back.
You know, I was really hoping to see like Spencer's gonna be there, but man, he's like actually gone. And she's on there. You can just tell she's freaked out. She's getting the hell out of the country. Actually, super smart move. But then all of a sudden, the screens, man, they all turn into the damn horror game.
Dude,
And
it's like
Every
Stay
single
Alive.
one of them.
every one of them.
It's literally like Stay Alive at the
Yeah.
ending where they start selling the games.
Yep. And she's everyone on the whole damn plane. She starts freaking out, and I thought it was kind of hilarious. We see like an Asian couple, like you see the games like in Asian, like whatever text or whatever, and you see them like kind of like you see them laughing, and they're like, "Oh, what are you afraid of?" And like one of them says like spiders, and the other one literally says like a bear.
And then, exactly what fucking Gracie and Spencer said they were scared of.
And then out of nowhere, you see, oh man, you see literally spiders on the plane, like ridiculous everywhere. Like,
and you hear the growl of a bear too.
You hear a growl, and a freaking giant bear comes out. Like I literally was just like, I laughed out loud. I'm like, it's like I went from being scared to laughing out loud to like a ridiculous ending. And you literally see like you see a bear walk out, and then you see like a spider crawl in Grace's face. The end. The movie is over. Someone talk about it. What do you guys want? What do you guys want to talk about?
Ooh, so I want Waterboy to go first again.
So
I like your opinions.
The movie wasn't. I wouldn't say it's like completely horrible for what they worked with. There were a couple like parts where it was like, what the hell's going on? I think there's more like it's filled with like fluff and shit in here, and I don't think it was like the scariest part of this whole thing was when they were in the basement. And I mean, darkness is just scary as it is, but everything else that they did with this, like the story was just kind of there. But I'm still gonna probably give it like a 5 out of 10. I think it's worth an average for me. I mean, I wouldn't say not to watch it, but I wouldn't say watch it. That's me.
Yeah, all right. Sean, you want to go next? Do you want me to go next? Who wants to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. I'll give you a break, Justin. You can catch your breath.
Thank you.
I've got this movie has a ton of potential. It is very low budget. The acting is good, not great. Let's be honest, Spencer 100% carries this movie from start to finish.
Yep.
There is, like I said, a great story here. I wish it had a little bit bigger of a budget to make this happen. It doesn't, so it does suffer from that. Just like some of the effects did take me out of the movie. Like the toilet girl, I thought her face wasn't too scary, but that whole scene, it had her makeup or something been a little better, I think that scene would have been scarier. Also, some of the jump scares really did take me out of it, like our bro in the kitchen when he reaches for the Lego hut on top of the trash and the hand pops out and grabs him. It's very fast. It's moderately effective, but it is way too quick. It happens and then it's gone. Like you don't see anything else. It takes forever to get there. There's some greatness in this movie. Let's be honest. The Inside Out man is very well done. I love his character in this movie. It scares the shit out of me. And the entire documentary video, which is hands down the scariest part of this movie for me. I know Waterboy said it was when they were in the hospital, but when they were watching that video, it creeped the absolute shit out of me. It was like they put a lot of time and effort into showing you these kids, and you got very House on the Haunted Hill, like the twitching and all that shit. It was very well done. All in all, this is not a bad movie. It is definitely worth a watch if you're looking for something this Halloween season that's not your typical franchise slasher. I'm going to give this a 5.6 out of 10.
All right.
Slightly better than Waterboys.
Justin's giving it an 8 out of 10. Loved it.
All right, here we go. This movie was so fun. I friggin' love the mystery vibes in it. Is it very uneven? Yes, but this has the best like late 90s, early 2000 vibes. Love it so much. Like, you know what? Go get your popcorn, light your jack-o'-lantern, put your spooky lights on, turn off your brain for a little bit, grab some candy, sit on the couch, and watch this movie. So much fun.
Or the toilet.
This movie is such fun vibes. Like, is it uneven? Yes. Like, does a few of the things kind of stupid and campy? Also, yes. But them like trying to find out the mystery. This reminded me so much of those like the late 90s, early 2000s, like just the college stuff, or just like I Know What You Did Last Summer, when there's like a mystery trying to figure out what's going on, like tracking the stuff on the computer. I loved it. I loved the story about the kids being trapped down there. There's really creepy parts about like the weird deformed babies and everything. I don't know. I give this movie a 7.4 out of 10. Love the low budget feel. I thought this was awesome. Shout out J. Dahl, the director. A lot of fun in this movie. A lot of fun.
Like I said, dude, I did like this movie. There's so much potential in this, but I think like some of the scares took me out. Like I said, the trash can, the toilet bowl girl.
Yeah, and I'm jumping.
Like I wanted, like, dude, like the opening scene when she's in the mall, that fucking had me hook, line, and sinker. And then it's just like some things just kept, like, every time I got roped in, something took me out, whether it was like a pacing issue or like a bad effect or just a bad acting from like a supporting character.
And they tried.
It was
so
just
hard
like you said, very uneven.
We'll jump into J. Dahl, some fun info and stuff, and he literally talks about he did not want to take people out of it because he was trying to balance the comedy and the horror, and he was really nervous about the toilet scene, and he said, I think he felt like they nailed it because he said the whole crew, they weren't sure how they did it. I personally kind of did get a little, it was kind of like goofy, but they were really nervous.
It was just the chick's face.
I know
the face, just the CGI like implement of her. That was the only thing because it was creepy as shit in the walls. Like even when you heard his kerplunk in the toilet, like shit like that, it wasn't bad. It was just the face.
And he was talking
like that.
He didn't know. He was like, I don't know, do we put a girl in there? Like, how do we do this? They didn't know like how to do that. Like I said, I thought that was a little off, but like I said, I still had enough fun with this. Just turn your brain off, and just I thought it was a real fun watch. I also have a fun fact for Waterboy that Grace, I don't really remember because it's a terrible movie. All you sci-fi horror fans don't come for me. But she was also in. She played Amy Groening played the dispatch, one of the dispatchers. Don't remember in the movie The Void. So that main girl, she was in The Void somewhere. I don't know what dispatch was. Maybe she was only in the movie for a minute.
I think she was in the beginning.
She was in the Void.
But yeah, don't like that at all. But also,
great movie.
I'm a big fan of taglines. I don't know if you saw the tagline for this. Weak as fuck. Be better, guys. Like the tagline was "Get Haunted."
Whoa.
Like, bro.
No.
I thought that was like wrong. So I literally looked up the cover of the movie, and there it was, like Halloween Party 2009. Get Haunted. Like, oh come on, step up your game. You could have done something way more fun.
I mean, you could have even done something like cliche and took like some Pink Floyd and just put, another brick out of the wall.
Right? Or do something with like a Halloween party, like this party is to die. I don't know. Do something like to do with like a party or something. I also like when I watched this. Did you guys feel those vibes of like the early 2000s and late 90s movies? Or
yeah,
for sure.
Like I said, there was certain things like that just roped me the fuck in, but there was small things that took me right out.
Well, it definitely, like I said, definitely super uneven. But I also, when I read the interview with him, he did say that he wanted to play like a loose homage to all those 90s college horror films. And he even named Scream, The Ring, and all those things. So I thought that was cool. He was literally going for like that whole college horror vibe.
I'm surprised he didn't talk about urban legend. I got some urban legend vibes.
Yeah, he even mentioned, he said like there's different parts of like Trick or Treat he put in here with some of the imagery of the mask. He said Scary Movie, Scream, and Jacko. I've never seen Jacko. I think that's on our
Jacko's on our list.
I think we're covering that, so I don't know what he means by that one. But let's see, is that all I got? That's all I got for fun facts. Anyone else got any closing thoughts of fun facts?
No, I do not. You covered everything I had. I think I watched that same interview.
Yep, hell yeah.
All right, you guys ready to get out of here?
I'll think we're ready.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we got Jason Statham. I'm Hacky. This dude down here rocking in his chair, ready to get out of here and go change his underwear.
Let's go. Justin. I'm Justin. I forgot my name.
I'm Justin.
Justin. Just Justin.
Later.
Peace.